This lecture is going to be about 2.4, which again is just a brief introduction to problem solving, which is our word problems. Again, please make sure you're watching my math lab videos. They will go much more in detail, but we're going to hit on every single type of problem that you'll see. So tips at the beginning: every triangle, sum of the measures of the three angles is 180 degrees. You're expected to have that memorized. It will not be told to you on the test. If you have consecutive integers, which what I mean by that is the numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you would take x for your first, x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3. If you want odd or even, this tends to throw people off, because when I say odd, you think, okay, it's always going to be plus 1, but that's not going to get you to the next odd. So you call the first one x, and it adds 2. If you want to keep it odd, it adds, if you start with an even and add 2, it keeps you with even. So no matter what, you're going to use x, x plus 2, x plus 4, etc. So first thing I want you to do is always read the problem, scan for special words. So again, pause this so you can read number 1. Some keywords you should see is the word is always means equals. Okay. And you've got to be careful with parentheses here. So this is twice the sum. So you're going to multiply 2 times the sum. 2 times the sum of negative 2 and the number. So negative 2 plus x. And remember there, it doesn't matter if you put x plus negative 2 or negative 2 plus x. Is means equals, the same as the number decreased by a half. Decreased by means subtract. So now we can get rid of the parentheses. Multiply that 2 times both pieces inside. And now we need to collect like terms on one side and then subtract. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. Again, that cancels here. Go ahead and move this up. I'm left with a negative 4 plus x equals negative 1/2. I'm going to add the 4 to both sides. So I wanted to show you could do this problem leaving the fractions as long as you understand what to do at this point. That's important. So in this case, if I were to subtract this, this is the same thing as, some of you can realize that that's taking away a half, which gives you 3.5. If the parentheses following the answer blank says mixed numbers are okay, you can type 3/2. If it's not okay, remember 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 divided by 2. So I multiply the whole number times the denominator, 3 times 2, which gives me 6, and then add the numerator. That gives me 7/2. That is my improper fraction. So depends on what the question asks for. If it asks for, or if it specifies either is okay, then either one is all right. If you are one that wanted to clear the fraction in the beginning, so right here, once I got rid of the parentheses, I'm just going to rewrite this over here. We would multiply every single term by the LCD, which is 2. So I'm going to multiply every term. I'm not going to do it in my head. This gives me a negative 8 plus 4x equals 2x. This would be 2 over 2, which is 1. So I would go through the same steps as I did before. I would subtract 2x from both sides. Be careful with your signs. Add 8 to both sides. You would get 2x equals 7, and we get 7/2, which is the same answer. So some of you are better clearing it at the beginning. Some of you are okay with keeping it. Just be careful. Don't convert to decimals. Usually it will tell you if they want a decimal answer or if they want a fraction answer in the parentheses. So go ahead and read number 2. Again, pause it if you need to. Looking for keywords. Again, the words is. So we have twice the difference, so again, this means there's a parentheses there, of a number and 8. Difference means do it in that order. Equal to 3 times the sum. So again, we have a parentheses here, number and 3. If you don't know some of your key phrasings, they have it in the book, so you can look in the multimedia portion for this section that we'll review for you. So we're going to get rid of our parentheses on both sides. Collect like terms, and again, I generally always move my variables to the left. You can move them either direction. But this actually brings up a good point of something I see people do wrong on the test. So I'm going to add 16 to both sides. So I get a lot of people that on the test get to this point, negative x equals 25, and they think that's their answer. This is not their answer because you have a negative 1 times x equals 25. So that means you need to divide both sides by a negative 1, which essentially just means, think about it. Flip your signs. That's what a negative x means. Change your signs on both sides because you're either multiplying or dividing by a negative 1. But if you type 25, the whole problem is wrong. Going to number 3. Go ahead and read the example. Look for keywords. So we have a steel piece that's 25 inches long total. So the total is 25 inches. We have right here 3 pieces. So we have a first, second, and third. So it tells me the second is twice as long as the first. So we're going to call the first x, which means the second one is 2 times x. Third piece is 1 inch more than 5 times the length. This is a key piece I think is important. If you see the words more than or less than, always do it at the end. The more than doesn't matter, but if you keep that in mind for the less than, it will affect your answer. So if you see the word more than or less than, always goes at the end. So 1 inch more than 5 times the first. So I'm adding 1 at the end. This is my relationship. So we would take the first piece plus the second piece plus the third piece equals the total. So I'm going to plug in what I have, x plus 2x plus 5x plus 1 equals 25 inches. If you have this on your test, you're going to get some credit. So that's something I haven't mentioned yet. On this test, if you guess and get the right answer, you're going to get immediate feedback that you got the answer right. But when the instructor grades your paper, they're going to take off if they do not see you solving it with an equation. So that works both directions. If you have the equation and you get a wrong answer, they're going to give you some credit. So this step here is super important. So now we're going to collect like terms. So 1 plus 2 plus 5 gives me 8x. Subtract 1 from both sides. I get 8x equals 24. Divide both sides by 8, x equals 3. This is what I like about organizing. There's no guesswork now what x is equal to. So my first piece will be 3 inches. My second piece is 2 times x, so that's 6 inches. So that is, the second is 6 inches. My third is 5 times x, so 5 times 3 is 15 plus 1, which gives me 16 inches. So I did 5 times 3 plus 1 to get that piece. Here's my answer. Going to number 4, we have consecutive integers. So again, pause this and read through it, but consecutive means always we call one x and one x plus 1. So they tell me the sum is 469. So we take x and x plus 1 equal to 469. I get 2x plus 1 equals 469. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, which gives me 2x equals 468. Divide both sides by 2. Again, you can use a calculator, but that should be easy enough for you to divide in your head. That's 234. So my consecutive integers are 234 and 235. We know that this is easy enough to guess and check on your test. That's awesome. You'll get some points, but you're going to get points deducted if you do not have the equation. So make sure you're showing that on your test paper. Going to our last one for 2.4, which is number 5. Keyword here, isosceles triangle. So reminder, an isosceles triangle means that you have two congruent angles and two congruent sides, which means the measurement is the same. So it depends on what the rest of the information is given to you if you're using angles or sides. So in this case, we're dealing with angles. If it helps, you can draw out your angles. But this again, before I even go any further, means I have two angles that are the same. Okay, so I'm going to call them x and x. And then it tells me that the measure of the third angle is 30 degrees more than twice the angles, the other two angles. So remember, more than means take it away at the end. So this means 2x plus 3. Stop and reread it again to make sure you understand that. So when we're dealing with angle measurements, we have our first plus our second plus our third equals 180. That should be memorized. So because it's an isosceles, two of the angles match. And using the interpretation from the problem, we add 2x plus 3 for my third angle. If it helps to put a 1 in front of those x's so you can see that I now go to 4x plus 3 equals 180. Subtract 3 from both sides. Sorry, that should have been a 30. So I'm going to go back up to this. That's a common mistake what I just did. So please, again, slow down, double check yourself. Should be 2x plus 30. So this was 2x plus 30 here. And so that gives me 4x plus 30. And so I subtract 30 from both sides. That gives me 4x equals 150. And now I divide both sides by 4. This would be a problem that you would need to look at what is in MyMathLab. What does it ask for? This problem will probably tell you to use a decimal answer. So when you use your calculator, you're going to get 37.5. Again, by drawing a picture or making a labeling format, you are clear that you know the first and second angle equal 37.5 degrees. The third angle is 2 times 37.5 plus 30. Put it in your calculator. This would give you 75 plus 30, which is 105 degrees. Easy to check. You should be able to add the 3 angles up in your calculator and they should give you 180 degrees. Every single one of these problems, a formula is important. You don't have to draw a picture, but if you do not have a formula, the actual equation correct, you will get points deducted test time.